Do we say wanted or wanted? Do we say loved or loved? English verbs in the past are spelled the same, but they're pronounced in different ways, and it's very confusing as to when to use each one. My name is Andrea, and I am here to fix your English. Today we're going to be looking at something that I am incredibly excited to share with you, which is the 3 different ways we pronounce ed at the end of the past tense in British English. At the end of this video, you're going to know the 3 different ways, you're going to know why we pronounce them differently, and you're going to know how to know which one to use and when. You will sound clearer and more natural in only a few minutes. Let's go. There are 3 ways to pronounce that ed in English. There's this one, id, like wanted, id. There's t, like worked. And there's d, like played. Now let's go through each one. The first is id. We use this when the base verb has a T or a D on the end. Why? Because it's not very easy to use another T and D when you've already got a T and D before it. Listen, wanted instead of wanted. It sounds just a little awkward. So we add that extra syllable to help us. So want, wanted. You go. Wanted. Wanted, wanted, wanted. Need, needed, 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 needed. Wait, waited, 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 waited. Remember, you have to hit that D on the end. Not waited, but waited. Wanted, needed, waited, decided. Okay, one more time with each of these words because they are complicated. Wanted, wanted, needed, needed, waited, waited, decided, decided. Very well done. Let's do some sentences now. She waited for an hour. Your turn. She waited for an hour. She waited for an hour. He needed help. He needed help. He needed help. Well done. They decided to leave early. They decided to leave early. They decided to leave early. Remember to hit that D at the end, okay? That might sound like it's extra, but it's very important that you do it, okay? So waited, decided, did. So if the base verb ends in a T or a D, naturally, then we add this D. Wait has a T, need has a D. Very well done. Let's go to the next one. We use that T at the end of a verb if it has what's called a voiceless sound. Voiceless means it has no vibration in the throat when we say it. We have work, worked, worked, worked. Laugh, laughed, laughed, laughed. Wash, washed, washed, washed. Help, helped, helped, helped. Let's go through those words one more time. I'll say it, you repeat. Worked, 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 worked. Laughed, 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 laughed. Washed, 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 washed. Helped, 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 helped. stopped, 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 stopped. Well done. Let's do some sentences now. I worked all day. I worked all day. I worked all day. I worked all day. Good. Hit that t at the end, okay? She laughed at the joke. 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 He stopped talking. 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 So how do we know? First of all, there are these voiceless consonants here. If there's one that you want me to look at specifically, let me know, but I'm going to try to do the pronunciation of each one little by little as I have time. The second is voiceless means that there's no vibration when you say that end. So for example, work. There's no vibration in my throat. You try it. Put your hand here and say work. That doesn't have a vibration. So it's worked. But if we look at a word that we're going to use in a little bit, which is play, put your hand again. Play. Do you feel the vibration? Play. So it can't be played. Doesn't make sense. Okay? And the last is the d sound at the end. This one is when it has a voiced sound. Okay, so we use the d at the end of a word that has a voiced sound, which is the opposite to the previous sound. This is when your throat vibrates when you say it. Here is a list of a lot of voiced sounds. Let's look at an example. We have play, played, 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 clean, cleaned, 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 love, loved, 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 cool, cold, 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 answer, answered, answered, answered. Let's go through it one more time and I want you to say the word after me. Played. Actually, put your hand here and you'll feel it. Played. You feel the vibration, right? Played. Played. Cleaned. Again, a big vibration. Cleaned. Cleaned. Loved. 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 Cold. 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 Answered. You feel it? That's why we have the d sound at the end, okay? Answered. Answered. Let's look at some sentences now. They played football yesterday. They played football yesterday. They played football yesterday. She called me last night. She called me last night. She called me last night. He loved the film. He loved the film. He loved the film. Let's do a quick quiz now. So to help you, put your hand here on your throat, say the word, and it will help you. Remember there are 3 sounds, id, t, and d. The first is used when there's already a t or a d at the end of the word. We use the id, okay? Then there's where it makes no vibration. No vibration means we use the t sound, okay? And then when there is a vibration, we use the d. Put your hand on your throat, say the word, the base word, and then you tell me which it is, okay? You ready? Let's go. How do we say this word? Okay, the base word is jump. Jump. So it is jumped. Good. This word. It is end. End. It has a D on the end, so ended. Well done. Miss. Miss. Missed. Good. Open. Open. Opened. Good. Laugh. Laugh. Laughed. Accept. Accept. Accepted, because it has the T on the end. Let's look at some useful phrases now. Are you ready? How would we say this? I missed the train. Good. This one? Agreed. We agreed on the plan. Walked. I walked to school. Finished. Have you finished the project? Very well done. Now that you know how to pronounce the endings of these words, you are going to sound even better than before and so much more natural. Your challenge for today is to write a sentence using that ed ending of something that you did yesterday. For example, I waited for the bus. I worked in my building. If you enjoyed my video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my playlist if you're serious about improving your British pronunciation, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!